Hey everyone, Felix from Nintendo Life here, and today we're here to review for you Marvel Cosmic Invasion for the Nintendo Switch. This review was written by the stupendous Tom Macy for NintendoLife.com and has been adapted into this video by me. It's been over 3 years since Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge was released, and tribute gamers have been really busy. Stuff like a return trip suitcase, Marvel Cosmic Invasion's enormous cast of heroes and villains is here united in a rapturous beat-em-up fanfare. Its pixel art positively simmers with beautiful rendered backgrounds, giant set pieces, and solid, impressively animated sprites. And in addition to primary antagonist Annihilus, nemesis like Galacticus, Hela, and Thanos make sufficiently heavy-duty appearances. What's particularly endearing is that the production feels wholly comic book. Its story mode, fleshed out with superbly rendered cutscenes and spot-on voice acting, really honors the source material. From Wolverine's growl to Spider-Man's quips, Venom's brusque manner to Nova's heroic fortitude, the exchanges really capture the Marvel feel. The slightly squad spirit styling works well too, and the soundtrack is on point throughout. Outside of the palette swap options, there are no Marvel movie elements here, and the roster is interestingly formed, teaming up the likes of Captain America and Iron Man with lesser knowns like Beta Ray Bill and Philo Bell. In total, there are a whopping 15 playable characters, several of whom are unlocked during playthroughs. Any modern scrolling beat-em-up worth its salt requires a creative and dynamic combat system, and Cosmic Invasion rises to the challenge with a dual character tag team setup. In story mode, you choose a fresh duo each time you begin a stage, selecting your destination of choice via a bullet-pointed map that runs along branching paths. Certain stages need to be beaten before you can progress, and finishing a stage will level up your team with increased power and health. Story mode also comes with a set of optional challenges. These include tasks like defeating a set number of enemies with a specific move, or finishing a boss with a specific character. There are certain characters that are meant for that stage, as they appear in the cutscenes, and the challenges also revolve around them. You can either find this by looking at the challenge list, or when you select your characters, the ones that are meant for this stage are outlined in white. Arcade mode operates in true linear fashion. Your initial character choice remains fixed for the entire game. There's no leveling up, and you're restricted to a limited number of stages across optional routes. For many, this will be the most enjoyable way to play. The cast's fighting properties are amazingly varied, with different speeds and weights, and enough unique attack forms to make each one feel interesting. Some can fly with a double tap, controlling the air, whilst others, like Rocket Raccoon, dominate from range with heavy artillery. Each wields a basic tap combo, a double tap rush attack, and a dodge or block that, when timed right, enacts a parry. Each character can also charge a unique breakout move, and the X button lets loose their special attack. There are buttons reserved for big, flashy supers, requiring focus energy that recharges whilst battling. Tag teaming works entirely around the trigger. Tapping switches characters who can swing in and break you out of holds. You can also combine attacks whereby pressing the trigger mid-combo will have your partner appear alongside you, dealing out extra blows. Interestingly, you can combine the tag function with different buttons, creating different partner effects like aerial dives or rushing slashes. All tag battling eats into your focus energy, a point to consider if you're trying to build a team super, a devastatingly dual attack engaged with ZL and R that requires maximum focus for both characters. Cosmic Invasion is flashy and superbly slick, and mining all the little details is quite the adventure. There's not much included in the rather threadbare tutorial, so it's down to you to experiment discovering which grabs can be turned into throws with D-pad combinations, and which characters have functions that respond to simultaneous button presses. The fastest hack here is to hit pause and read through your character's move list. In a world post-Absolum, Cosmic Invasion doesn't quite land the same way Shredder's Revenge did. While it does get furiously heated, its pace does feel a tad slow overall. What's surprising though are the numerous oversights in the visual feedback department. The map points and story mode, for example, don't change color when you clear a stage or complete its challenges, and post-toilet break, it can take a moment to recognize what you just did. Tribute Games clearly aren't fans of prominent combo counters either, which is a shame as Cosmic Invasion seems to be crying out for one. Here, the combo counter is small, tame, and seated inconspicuously beside your health bar. As such, your building of blows isn't as rewarding, and being a comic book themed game, classic onomatopoeia or dazzling, amazing, or super would have been a perfect way to celebrate combo milestones. The feedback element that really needs bolstering though surrounds the tag mechanic. With so many different usage combinations, some additional visual, oral, or haptic cues to differentiate each state would have been helpful amidst the game's flying pyrotechnics. For example, a short pad vibration upon engagement and perhaps character color flashes could give some idea of how much focused energy is being consumed. And as the tag team can be combined with different buttons for different dual attack types, some kind of visual feedback to articulate each state wouldn't have gone amiss. It's not the end of the world, but your tag mechanics tend to get drowned out in the fighting stew, lacking a sense of tactility. For your mammoth dual attack 2, any kind of wind-up effect or chime would have been welcome, just to let you know that you're primed to go. Additionally, requiring the secret green cubes hidden in each stage is so perfunctory it's like a fart in the wind. There's no indication it even has value, no messaging screaming "cube recovered" or the like. In fact, it's quite possible to pick up one accidentally without realizing it. These aren't criminal offenses, and they certainly don't diminish the effort involved. But anyone who understands arcade games knows that good feedback aspects can really elevate the experience. As such, while impressively deep with its dodging, parrying, and potential for wild mix-ups and tag team juggling, Cosmic Invasion's combat doesn't feel quite as satisfying as something like Streets of Rage 4, the recent Absolum, or even Shredder's Revenge, which was a tough more honed in the battling department. The more overt problem with Cosmic Invasion though is its difficulty balancing. Credit-feeding arcade games robs them of their value largely because of their routine nature, and a lack of challenge has a similar effect. For some reason, Cosmic Invasion's default medium difficulty setting is a total cakewalk. Bosses, whose attack patterns are often thoughtfully designed, go down to first attempt spamming in all but the last few stages. Health items are scattered all over, and being able to tag characters, regularly deploy super attacks, and regenerate not only focus but your health too, actually makes the campaign a tad mundane. It's much like the Marvel movies themselves in this respect. When there are no stakes, you start to switch off. Now, there is a hard mode, but it isn't available from the outset. Instead, you need to earn cubes to be spent on a hexagonal grid, unlocking additional character palettes and other in-game adjustments. For your information, you want to go to the top middle of the hexagon and unlock the hard mode option, because frankly, it's transformative. Playing arcade mode on hard mode suddenly makes Cosmic Invasion both reasonably challenging and, with it, far more interesting, requiring thought and skill over mindless button mashing. All aspects of your moveset take on genuine importance, with different enemies and situations demanding experimentation, and the dodge and parry become crucial. While in our opinion the default difficulty should have been set somewhere between middle and hard mode, and that means Tribute Games didn't quite get it quite right, hard mode is still the place to go lest things get boring. Now, if you're primarily here for the multiplayer aspect, all this challenge criticism goes out the window. With friends, it's just a blast, even if the full player is a little too chaotic, all things told. In terms of delivering campy Marvel magic, however, in which iconic superheroes smash iconic supervillains, Cosmic Invasion comes through with flying colors. So in conclusion, pure cartoon fun and all the better for it, Tribute Games has not only totally honored the source material, but delivered one of the best arcade Marvel games ever made. The aesthetic is beautiful, and the effort involved in creating such a varied cast of beat-em-up protagonists is admirable. Yes, there are areas for improvement, and some of its combat feedback oversights feel like missed opportunities. But if you primarily want multiplayer action to unlock and grind and level up your cast, and to get knee-deep in Marvel mayhem, it's right on the money. If you're working through its single-player story campaign, you'll likely get bored before the end, but unlock hard difficulty and Cosmic Invasion becomes all it was destined to be. We here at Nintendo Live give Marvel Cosmic Invasion for the Nintendo Switch an 8 out of 10.